think we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about paranoid personality and Scorpio Pluto energy. By the time we reach Scorpio on the astrological or hero's journey, we've been around the block. We've felt and witnessed some pretty shady shit, some heavy shit like betrayal, addiction, lies, secrets, as well as exercising total control of our environment and being totally controlled. This is the part of the journey where we're sitting in a cave and we are deeply wounded from everything we've been through. I was going to say it's purely physical and mental, but it's not. It's a soul wound as well. In psychological terms, what I'm talking about is sitting with the shadow. The shadow is the part of us that's secretly doing its part in our subconscious mind, negating our behavior and our decisions, but it's the part of our personality that has not been integrated into our conscious awareness. Because of the weight and the threat our shadow presents, it's normal for us to fear and avoid it. So we elect, for Scorpio at least, repression. Repression is when the part of our brain that's responsible for survival decides like, this is too painful. We're not going to acknowledge this. We're going to compartmentalize it into our unconscious mind for our personal protection. Repression is not a transaction that we consciously make. The brain does it automatically because it knows that if we see or are forced to work with this in the moment, a core part of who we believe we are must be destroyed. Everyone experiences this at about 35 to 44 years old. It's the time in which we meet our mortality, where we have to re-examine our beliefs and confront what has changed, but also the changes that have gone unnoticed. It's the midlife crisis. With Scorpio energy, Pluto transits, or the physical midlife crisis stage itself, life seems to throw crises at us from all angles at all times. These are invitations, initiations for explosive yet necessary growth and change. However, they're painful. They are so damn painful. So in response, we elect defense mechanisms that essentially prevent us from assimilating the emerging psychic content. We shut down, we go into our cave, and we rot. When repression is stunningly successful, we project our shadow material outward and we create an enemy. It's here that the shadow can be safely examined and worked with because it's also depersonalized. They are the enemy. As Jung said, projections change the world into a replica of one's unknown face. To a lesser degree, this manifests as control issues or people who exhibit behavior that is manipulative, intimidating, oppressive, coercing, really anything that aims to seek height and power over the object of their distrust. The exaggerated expression of this energy is, like the title of the video says, a paranoid personality disorder, where there is an unwarranted and pervasive suspicion about other people. Furthermore, people are viewed as the threat. Other people are viewed as being guarded, secretive, devious, and scheming. When paranoia kicks in, we are overwhelmed with the belief that the world in its entirety is full of trickery and betrayal. Thus, we become hyper-focused on how people prove their loyalty to us. Interactions are hostile, and we show signs of kind of pathological jealousy. This disorder makes us vividly, wildly aware of power dynamics, social ranks, and even leads us to feel envious of people in dominant power positions. In short, the fear and resistance of our inner life will be evidenced by an overwhelming distrust in the outer world. Personally, I found that people who struggle with heavy forms of repression, Scorpio energy, have dreams about or fixate on the past, on memories, and it inhibits their ability to assimilate new information that could correct outdated or just false beliefs about the world and people. Another issue and dilemma this causes is really wanting to be close with someone, but intentionally keeping them an arm's length away. Scorpio characters not only struggle to establish relationships, but really struggle to maintain relationships over the long haul. There's often a fixation of one person at a time. I digress. Back to point. Repression is the root of this conversation. of paranoid personality disorder, an issue in the human psyche, the biggest challenge presented to Scorpio dominance, Pluto dominance. Our brain is not supportive of us unearthing what it's buried itself. In fact, what you'll see is that when you're trying to investigate your psyche, yourself, something pops up and derails your focus. Oh, I'm hungry. I want pizza. I want a hug. I want to, whatever it may be, you're pulled away from what you were originally focusing on. Or for me, the most irritating is when I'm fully focusing consciously on an issue and I hit a thick mental fog. For these reasons, and in honor of the brilliant complexity of the mind, it's critical that you seek professional help, especially when working with repression. Once in session, notice when the therapist becomes too personal, too irritating, too pushy. Consider that maybe in these moments, what you need to see the most is working overtime to remain hidden. I love you guys. I love you guys. Toodles.